Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Hari ini kami akan bentangkan tentang halal meat. What is it and why is it so controversial? So this presentation was presented by Nur dan Akila Bibi Mazari, nombor metrik 2210402.
Nama Puteri Nur Amira Akila. My number metric 20210423.
Okay, my name is Nuraini binti Mursal. My number matric is 20210406.
My name is Norahana binti Muhammad Zulkifli. My number metric is 20210407.
My name is Lukmanur Hakim bin Hairul Nizam. My number metric is 20210439.
My name is Noor Afizi bin Muhammad Yazid. My number metric is 20210401.
Next, we have the table of content. Firstly, we have introduction. Second, we have what is halal meat. Third, we have how is halal meat prepared. And lastly, the conclusion. For the introduction, Islamic ritual slaughter has been attacked as cruel, but Muslim authorities say that the method is humane. Halal meat is an essential part of the Muslim faith, and advocates argue that the practice of traditional Islamic slaughter are humane. However, many animal rights campaigners argue that religious slaughter causes animal unnecessary suffering and should be banned.
What is halal meat? Halal refers to any action or behavior that is permissible in Islam, including what types of meat and methods of preparation are acceptable, while haram refers to impermissible or unlawful action. The term halal is used by non-Muslims almost exclusively to refer to the slaughter and preparation of meat in accordance with Islamic practice. Its meaning within Islam is far broader. In the context of dietary rules, pork and blood, as well as meat from birds of prey and reptiles, are defined as haram and so forbidden to practicing Muslims.
How is halal meat prepared? Gardener must be involved in one-line blessing called the tasmiyah, said before any slaughter. British halal food authority slaughtermen use the most common version, Bismillahi Allahu Akbar, in the name of Allah the Greatest. The Islamic method of killing an animal for meat is called zabiha. After reciting the blessing, the slaughterman uses the surgically sharp instrument to cut animals' throat, while one pipe and the blood vessels around its neck. The blood is then allowed to drain from the body. Only one animal can be ritually slaughtered at a time, and the other animals must not witness any death. The religious law also say how the animal must be treated during its life, with the animal not allowed to have been mistreated or cause any pain. It must also be provided with enough space to roam, clean water, food, and fresh air. Some animals killed for halal meat in the UK are stunned electrically before the throats are slit, known as pre-stun slaughter. However, it is forbidden to use method of stunning that can actually kill the animal, such as a bolt gun. Animals not killed by ritual slaughter are considered carrion meat, which is haram.
Do the animal feel the pain? Shuja Shafi and Jonathan Arkush, writing in The Guardian, say religious slaughter is as humane as the alternatives, arguing that traditional method of stunning using a captive bolt, gas or electricity only paralyze the animal so it cannot move. It is impossible to know whether the animal is feeling pain or not, they say. In both Muslim and Jewish religious slaughter, the act of slitting the throat stuns the animal. They add, and there is no delay between stun and subsequent death. Animal health experts and campaigners disagree. The RSPCA argues that killing animals without stunning them causes unnecessary suffering, while activist group PETA calls Halal slaughter prolonged torment, saying the animals fight and gasp for their last breath, struggling to stand while the blood drains from their neck. The British Veterinary Association calls for all animals to be effectively stunned before slaughter, while the Farm Animal Welfare Council says cutting an animal's throat is such a massive injury that it would result in very significant pain and distress in the period before insensibility supervenes.
How does it differ from kosher practice? Unlike halal, the Jewish method of slaughter, known as shashita, cannot involve or slaughter stunning at all. Its proponents say the use of a chalaf, a surgically sharp instrument twice the width of the animal's neck, by practitioners who have trained for a minimum of 7 years, meets the European Union's requirement for stunning in that it brings insensitivity to pain and distress.
How does this work in practice? In a highly publicized case last year, Lancashire Council became the first local authority to ban unstunned halal meat in school dinners, following an impatient and at times bitter campaign between council leader Geoff Driver and the local Muslim community. The Conservative Control Council narrowly voted for the ban. The decision prompted calls from Muslim students to boycott school lunch and provoked a war of words between Muslim leaders to council and animal rights groups. Lancashire Council of Moscow LCM accused Drive of leading a crusade on the issue, and LCM's acting chair Abdul Qureshi said any decision to ban unstunned halal meat would create huge difficulty. People will pull out of school meals, and people who should eat properly will be deprived of that. For us, it's a matter of faith. For Geoff Driver, it is his feeling.
Is halal meat more widespread than we think? According to One Britain Foremost Bets, many non-Muslim Britons are inadvertently eating meats from halal slaughter while they are still conscious. Lord Trees, a former president of the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons, said that with the sharp rise in the number of sheep and poultry being killed in accordance with halal practice, it was highly probable that some unstunned meat was entering the standard food chain, mainly in pies and ready meals. It is very difficult to have accurate traceability when meat may go through the food chain and pass through several different people's hands. Various parts of it will go in all sorts of directions into different food chains and different processing systems, often different countries.
Conclusion. Halal meat is free from antibiotic, growth hormones, and preservative. All these things can adversely affect body human and can make them ill. Animal kill use non-halal method might contain E. coli, poisoning, bacteria, and other harmful and filthy substances.
So in addition, there is always a reason behind halal slaughter. According to Islam, the purpose of slaughtering is to release all blood from the animal's body, leaving no room for growth of microorganisms. When stunned, only a part of its blood is released. Flesh is lawful, blood unlawful, states Islam according to the Maulana. Next, many people have thought on what does Islam say about the slaughter. So the human slaughter of animal is strongly supported in the Islamic tradition. For example, Sahih Muslim Book 21 chapter 11 number 4810 records of Prophet Muhammad saying, verify Allah has enjoyed goodness to everything, so when you kill, in a good way. So kill in a good way, and when you slaughter, slaughter in a good way. So basically, halal slaughter process of animal involves restraining, stunning, infused, and severing of trachea, esophagus, and both the carotid arteries and jugular veins. So next, we're moving on about the kosher slaughter. So kosher slaughter or seshita is performed by a person known as shoshet, who has received special education and instruction in the requirement of seshita. The shoshet kills the animal with a quick, deep stroke across the throat with a sharp knife. And also, the kosher slaughter is performed by a qualified butcher, and well, we know as the shoshet, and involves continuous cutting of the esophagus and blood vessel using a special sharp shallow knife with the length of the strip blade being at least twice the diameter of the animal's neck. And lastly, the difference between the kosher versus halal. So pork in kosher is prohibited and halal also prohibited. Meanwhile, the ruminants and poultry for kosher slaughtered by a Jewish person, meanwhile for the halal slaughtered by a Muslim. And the restriction for kosher, Hindu quarters not use salting and soaking required. And for the halal, whole carcass use no salting. And lastly, for the blessing, for kosher, blessing before entering slaughtering area, not on each animal. Meanwhile, for the halal, blessing on each animal while slaughtered. And that will be it. Thank you very much.